So now that the United States has attacked Iran and has used its B-2 bombers to attack the nuclear facilities in Iran, is the game widening or is it going to be peace at last? Senior Israeli officials said this week that their military campaign against Iran could trigger the fall of the regime, an event that could have enormous implications for the global oil market. The oil market has reacted with remarkable restraint as Israel has bombed the third largest crude producer in OPEC for 8 straight days with no clear sign that a conflict will end anytime soon. Oil prices are up 10% since Israel launched its attack on Iran about 10 days back. But with oil supplies so far undisturbed, both the US crude oil and the global benchmark Brent remain below $80 per barrel. And $80 per barrel is an important inflection point. Still, the risk of a supply disruption that triggers a big spike in prices is growing the longer the conflict rages on. President Donald Trump has even talked about Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, and he knows where he is hiding and is considering helping Israel destroy the Islamic Republic's nuclear program. Now he says that he has destroyed it and obliterated it. That's the right word. For its part, Iran's leadership is more likely to target regional oil facilities if it feels that its very existence is at stake. And that is probably something that you need to be very careful about. Israel's primary aim is to degrade Iran's nuclear program. But Jerusalem also appears to have a secondary goal of damaging Iran's security establishment to such an extent that the country's domestic opposition can rise up against the regime. They are not calling it regime change from without, they are calling it regime change from within. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu denies that regime change is Israel's official goal, telling a public broadcaster on Thursday that domestic governance is an internal Iranian decision. But the Prime Minister acknowledged that Khamenei's regime could fall as a consequence of the conflict. Defense Minister Israel Katz on Friday ordered Israel's military to intensify strikes on Iran with a goal to destabilize the region by attacking the foundations of its power. Israel reportedly sought to kill Khamenei in the opening days of its campaign, but Trump vetoed the plan. There are no signs the regime in Iran is on the verge of collapse as of now. In fact, if you look at the videos of the protesters in Tehran, they seem to be all very much with the ruling regime. But further political destabilization in Iran could lead to significantly higher oil prices sustained over extended periods. There have been 8 cases of regime change in major oil-producing countries since 1979, according to JP Morgan. Oil prices spiked 76% on an average at their peak in the wake of these changes, before pulling back to stabilize at a price that is about 30% higher compared to pre-crisis levels, according to the bank. For example, oil prices nearly tripled from mid-1979 to mid-1980 after the Iranian Revolution deposed the Shah of Iran and brought the Islamic Republic to power. That triggered a worldwide economic recession. This is something to be very careful about. More recently, the revolution in Libya that overthrew Muammar Gaddafi jolted oil prices from $93 a barrel in January 2011 to $130 per barrel by April that year, according to the analysis that we have done. That price spike coincided with the European debt crisis and nearly caused a global recession. Regime change in Iran would have a much bigger impact on the global oil market than the 2011 revolution in Libya, because Iran is far bigger producer. We would need to see some strong indicators that a state is coming to a halt, that a regime change is starting to look real, before the market would really start pricing in 3+ million barrels a day going offline. If the regime in Iran believes that it is facing an existential crisis, and I'm sure right now they are facing the heat, it could use its stockpile of short-range missiles to target energy facilities in the region and oil tankers in the Persian Gulf. Tehran could also try to mine the Strait of Hormuz, the narrow body of water between Iran and Oman, through which about 20% of the world's oil flows. So we are already getting reports that Iran is jamming ship transponders very, very aggressively. These are not calm waters, even though we have not had missiles flying in the straits. There's a 70% chance that this can happen. Oil prices would probably rally $4 to $6 per barrel if Iran's key uranium enrichment facility is declared as completely dead. Right now, Washington has attacked these facilities, but they are yet to finally confirm the extent of the damage, which we are waiting. Once confirmed, and don't forget, the oil market is going to start, futures market is going to start trading in just an hour from now. So you should start seeing not only the Dow, S&P, NASDAQ futures reacting, but oil futures also beginning to now show the first signs of the impact of this US strike on Iran, that impact what it would be on the stock markets and also the commodity markets as they open for trading on Monday across the world. Oil prices would probably rally $4 to $6 per barrel if Iran's Fordo facility is considered as completely demolished or obliterated, to use President Donald Trump's words. Iran will likely respond in a limited fashion to ensure the regime's survival, but there is also a 30% risk of Iran disrupting the energy supplies by retaliating against the infrastructure in the Gulf or the vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. Oil prices could surge about $100 per barrel if Iran fully mobilizes to disrupt shipping in the strait. They could disrupt, in our view, shipping through Hormuz by a lot longer than the market thinks. Shipping could be interrupted for weeks or months. The oil markets view that the United States Fifth Fleet, based in Bahrain, would probably resolve the situation in hours or days, but an attack of any kind on the United States Fifth Fleet based in Bahrain would further trigger an upward push to the oil prices. Friends, we stand at a very precarious position as far as oil is concerned. There is every likelihood that oil prices are headed further from here. We may be opening higher in the futures market, which are about to open in an hour's time, and go further up from here. To get to know more where the US markets, where the commodity markets are headed from here, do join our Prime Plus Telegram group, which is specifically addressed for the US markets. You can do that by WhatsApping us on 982-0861-044. Alternatively, if you are in the United States, you can straight away WhatsApp us on 732-732-2720. Friends, if you're located outside the US and would like some predictions on other than US, other countries' markets such as India, please join our Premium Plus. For that, you can WhatsApp us on our special dedicated number 982-0861-044. Happy investing and have a great week ahead. God bless you all. And let peace be there in the world. At the end of the day, all that we desire is peace and happiness. We are all peaceful souls. So I pray to God that everything comes to a rapid, peaceful solution. But reality is that the oil prices don't look peaceful at this point of time. In fact, there is further agony, further volatility in the days, weeks, and months ahead. Take care. Bye-bye.